Join us on the program right now. Very pleased to have with us NRA-ILA's National Grassroots Coordinator, Brent Gardner. Brent, good evening. How are you?
Good, Cam. How are you doing tonight?
I'm good. Thanks for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
So as I was perusing Facebook earlier today, I ran across a new page that NRA-ILA has put up specifically for Washington State gun owners as we get closer to the November elections. And I thought, this is really cool. Using third-party social media to reach out to gun owners and not only help them become aware of the races that are important in their state, but also give them a chance to get active and involved in their state in these races.
Well, Cam, you really hit the nail on the head, and it's not just in Washington. As a matter of fact, many states across the country have Facebook pages dedicated specifically towards gun owners and helping them get involved in those pro-gun campaigns. And I'm sure, as you know all together too well, we're in the heat of campaign season now. And it's a time where gun owners this year, more than usual, are ready to get involved.
Well, absolutely. And, I know that it's not just Washington State. This was just the most recent page. I think this went live over the weekend. And I'm sure that as, the primary season wraps up, that we get closer to general election, we'll see even more states. But, Brent, what are some of the things that gun owners really can be doing right now to help get pro-Second Amendment candidates elected into office this year?
Well, Cam, and the biggest thing that we really need to focus on at this point in the game is making sure that pro-gun voters are registered to vote. That's the most essential thing. If we don't get people registered to vote now, they're not going to be able to help us on Election Day. So the first thing we need to do as pro-gun voters and as NRA members is to make sure that our family, friends, and fellow firearm owners are registered to vote. That's the first thing. The second thing we need to do is find out who the pro-gun candidates are in our area. And NRA is a great place for you to be able to find all that information. That's NRA's Political Victory Fund website, NRAPVF.org. Above and beyond that, if you go ahead, there's a website about how you can get more involved. And there I know we've talked in the past about our Election Volunteer Coordinator program. Mm-hmm. People can go right onto the NRA-ILA website, find out who their local person is and what campaigns and what activities NRA members are getting involved in. And last but not least, definitely, you hit the nail on the head. Our social networking is a great way not only for NRA to help direct gun owners, but these social networking sites offer gun owners an opportunity to work within their own community, to work with each other kind of on an organic grassroots basis, to get involved and to do a lot of the essential campaign tasks we need to bring home some victories this November.
Absolutely. Now, Brent, I'm curious, when you, going back to the very first thing that you mentioned, voter registration, obviously this election year, there's a lot of discontent. There's a lot of, I think, anger from the American people. You would think that would translate into a lot of people, not only registered to vote, but fired up and ready to vote in November. But I guess there's a double-edged sword. You also have the people who are fed up and maybe they're apathetic and they think, what's the point in me voting? What difference does my vote really make?
Sure. Well, listen, it's clear. Take a look at the last, at least decade or so. We've entered an unprecedented era of extremely close elections. A few votes are making the difference. Look, all we have to do is look back to the last Bush election and realize, what would happen if 537 pro-gun voters stayed home? Can you imagine our gun rights under an Al Gore administration, followed by another 4 years or 2 years so far, of our current president, of Barack Obama? Absolutely. It's essential that we get absolutely every single person out there to vote. Take a look at the polls today, the Real Clear Politics polls. We're seeing these candidates being divided by very small margins. And again, these are just the polls. We need to ensure that our folks get out there and vote. And I'll be honest with you. The sad fact is, Cam, for folks that are involved in the pro-gun community, some of our closest friends, some of the folks we hunt with, are simply just not registered to vote. They're exactly what we just mentioned. They're apathetic. But this year we need to take all of the energy that's been out there, all of the discontent, and we need to put it towards moving forward. And the only way to do that is to make sure we go out, get active, and vote on Election Day.
All right. Well, listen, Brent, I'm glad you could join us tonight. I know we'll be talking many times between now and November, but as you say, NRAPVF.org, a great resource for gun owners. I would encourage any gun owner who's looking for ways to get involved this election to either work with your local election volunteer coordinator. If you don't have one in your area, sign up to be the election volunteer coordinator in your area. But this is too important an election to sit on the sidelines.
That's true, Cam. And again, take a look at our Facebook. NRA has its own Facebook page. It's a great community to be able to work in to find out what other NRA members are doing. And also, make sure to go to the NRA-ILA website to the Get Involved Locally tab and just find out what's going on in your area. There's a lot of work to be done. We know that not everyone can do everything, but we can all do something.
Absolutely. Brent, thank you so much, sir, and look forward to talking again very soon.
Cam, as always, a pleasure.